Pelosi herself is incredibly conservative. She may claim to be pro-choice, but when you're backing an anti-choice candidate over a pro-choice candidate, you have to ask yourself, does she really care about this issue? I mean, it's one thing to have a personal, you personally are pro-choice. Great. You are a lawmaker with power. How you use your power is what matters. It doesn't matter how you personally feel about an issue if you're a lawmaker. It matters what you do with your power. So using her power, she is anti-choice. But the reason she's backing Cuellar is obvious. He's part of the caucus already. He's a sitting member, and he is in incredibly great standing with corporate donors. In fact, he is what Cisneros has coined Trump's favorite Democrat, because he voted more with Trump than any other Democrat in the House. That's who Pelosi is backing, a pro-Trump or Trump's favorite Democrat. Now, let's get to a little history here, which for me was spurred by this insane tweet from Pelosi's daughter here, Christine Pelosi, tweeting out, "We warned you for years, but some of you with lofty lefty platforms told people not to vote for Democrats to send a message in 2010. You didn't heed our warnings in 2016. Now you are shocked that the Republican Supreme Court will overturn Roe, but you should be ashamed. Oh yes, blaming the voters, that's how you win. Don't deliver anything. Get a supermajority. Don't codify Roe into law when you have the power. Then blame the voters for not coming out to vote for you when you delivered a Republican healthcare plan." Fantastic. So this is even more insane considering Nancy Pelosi's history on this. Nancy Pelosi thinks abortion is fading as an issue. This is 2017. If this issue is so important, her daughter saying, we warned you for years. Did you warn your own mom? Going on to right here. When it comes to reproductive rights, the Democratic Party is known for being pro-choice and advocating for women. But in an interview with the Washington Post on Tuesday, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said abortion is fading as an issue and Democrats should welcome anti-choice candidates into the party. Welcome anti-choice candidates into the party. So not only is this just terrible, horrible, but it's also just dumb politics. Just looking at it from a purely political perspective about winning. Why would you want to do this when the majorities are very clear and have been clear for decades? The vast majority of people support reproductive rights. So even looking at this purely as a political issue, not caring at all about how this impacts people, purely political, it is stupid to want to accept anti-choice Democrats into the party when the vast majority of people support reproductive rights. So this recent poll, and by the way, every poll shows this, but a recent poll here from ABC News, Washington Post, should the U.S. Supreme Court uphold or overturn Roe v. Wade? 54% say uphold. Abortions should be legal, all or in most cases, says 58%. And decision whether a woman can have an abortion should be 70% say left to women and her doctor. So very clear here on the majorities in support of this issue, yet Pelosi thinks they should be accepting anti-choice Democrats as recently as 2017 and today with her endorsement of Cuellar. But it gets worse. Nancy Pelosi, how she saved the Affordable Care Act. Can you guess where this is going? It was Friday, November 6, 2009. The House was scheduled to vote on its health care bill the following day. For months, Pelosi had been immersed in negotiations on the massive, complicated legislation. Now it had come down to the final sticking point, one that could not have been more personal or painful for Pelosi. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops had announced that while it supported expanding health care, it would not endorse the bill unless it sharply restricted access to abortion, and a small group of pro-life members who would not commit to vote for the bill unless the bishops signed off. The women were irate. Louis Slaughter, the 80-year-old chair of the House Rules Committee, had grown up in Kentucky keeping the secret of a friend's illegal abortion. She marched in abortion rights protests in her youth, pushed for reproductive rights in Congress, and was a founding member of the pro-choice caucus. She arrived in Washington in 1987, just a few months before Pelosi, and cheered Pelosi's rise through the ranks as a victory for women everywhere. For Slaughter and the other liberal women, the abortion issue was about a woman's inviolable right to determine what happened to her body. It was non-negotiable. Now, in a bitter irony, the first woman Speaker of the House was asking them to cave. And that's what happened. Nancy Pelosi got them to cave on abortion rights to pass a Republican for-profit healthcare plan. Last thing here. Cisneros has responded to this recent news with this, saying Cuellar primary challenger Jessica Cisneros wants Dem leadership to withdraw their support for Cuellar in light of Roe news. Statement comes hours before Clyburn is set to rally with Cuellar in San Antonio. Think of the gall. Here you are rallying with Cuellar a couple days after this news came out about Roe v. Wade being overturned. And at the same time, trying to raise alarm about it being overturned. You're supporting an anti-choice Democrat over a pro-choice one. This is the Democratic leadership. Absolutely disgusting people. Don't care about anything at all except their own power, their own wealth, and their corporate donors. That's it.